Morning all. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, Diamond. Hi Andy. Hi Rahat. How's everybody doing? Good weekends? I treated myself this weekend. I bought myself a Microsoft Surface. Wow, what a bit of kit. Full-blown i5 processor, Windows PC in tablet form. Full MT4 capabilities. How good is that? In a tablet. Very, very nice bit of kit. So I was trading in bed this morning. It was awesome. I was trading the DAX this morning as it opened. It was lovely. Very good. I would highly, highly recommend one if you get one. If you're looking for a tablet. I decided to not do the old Android anymore. But yeah, very good. One of these. Surface Pro 8. It is very awesome. Go and look them up. If you're looking for a laptop, these are just as good as a laptop, basically. But it's a tablet. Can't believe it. Anyway, that's what I did this weekend. Anybody get up to anything exciting? We've just been doing the usual. Right, let's have a look where we are. How many have we got? Cool. Okay. Morning, B-Master. We'll kick off with the news this morning. Quick overview of the news. Overview of the COT report and what changes we had in the COT report this weekend. Then we'll have a look at basically what's been going on with everything and where we are, really. Usual stuff. Let's just go see what Dixie's up to this morning. Not a lot by the looks of things. Bullish. It's good. Right, so. News. So this week, basically, not particularly big news week. We had obviously non-farm payroll last week. Nothing particularly exciting apart from CPI this week, as you can see. So, one sec. Just get my pen. So a bit of a non-news week this week. So we've got Lagarde speaking this afternoon, 3:45. So all those euros that were absolutely screaming last week started to come down a little bit. So it may be that euros, we get a movement this afternoon from Lagarde. So we'll see what happens with that. But we have got a euro catalyst this afternoon, which is good. So late in the day, we've got Lagarde speaking, which might kick the euros back down into touch. We've got Orr speaking tomorrow morning. That's it for tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we've got Crude and Macklem speaking. So it's talking head heavy this week, as you can see, early week. And Mester. And then we've got CPI on Thursday at 1:30. And then we've got Bailey and Lowe speaking on Thursday evening. So apart from that, the week's a dud. We have one news event this week, Thursday. So could be a tricky week this week because there's literally nothing happening. So we'll see. It's very talking head related this week, as you can see. So, but no big news events to look forward to until Thursday. So just normal market manipulation this week. Nothing that they're going to particularly wait for. So we should see a decent week, really, of just movement. Because there's nothing that they're going to be hanging around for, waiting for anything to manipulate with. So, COT this week, not a massive difference on the COT. We've got confirmation that the pound is remaining strong, which is good. So, properly bullish on the pound now. New Zealand has remained long as well. So officially sort of bullish on the New Zealand as well. Not much change on the Aussie, not much change on the yen, not much change on the Swissy. Kind of ignore that one anyway. Euro, business as usual. Again, nothing positive about the euro. Canadian dollar, a bit of scaling out on the CAD, and a little bit of scaling out on the US dollar, which we know. We saw that happening. Bear in mind, obviously, the COT report is a week behind. We know there's been some scaling out on the US dollar. We've seen it. So again, from a sentiment perspective, whether you're looking at futures sentiment or whether you're looking at retail sentiment, it's all delayed, obviously. So this is delayed, obviously. But yeah, moves a bit more scaling out on the US dollar, but we're still positive US dollar, especially after the move it's had. It's due a nice big push. We had this lovely big dump. So looking for a nice pullback on that this week. So business as usual on the COT, really. Biases are pretty much the same. So that's those covered. Let me just move that out of the way. I spent a bit of time this weekend looking through news to find out what this Euro move was all about. And I can't find anything anyway that's positive about the Euro. So I put it in the Telegram group this week, and somebody else mentioned it as well. I think it was Andy. Mentioned about can't find anything on the Euro for this move. So this to me looks just like a manipulation event. So as I said on Friday, chances are this week, early with this week, we'll see this move either reversed or at least pulled back. So all of these Euros, obviously we've been scaling to these. Sorry, I'm on the wrong platform. So yeah, I've been scaling into all of these Euros, obviously, because they've had massive H4 extensions across the board. So they are still extended, but obviously, as you can see now, they are starting to come down a little bit. So we are starting the pullbacks. With all of these, you really just need to be looking for levels. So major support resistance on each of them, look for bounce. So if there is some weird fundamental reason the Euro is powering up, which we are unaware of, assume worst case scenario, the Euro is going to pump for some unknown reason. Lagarde might come out this evening and say, actually, we're going to do this. And it might all change. There is leaks, there does get stuff leaked that we don't know about. So always assume worst case scenario. So assuming worst case scenario, and we're going to get a new market structure on the Euros, we're looking for pullbacks. Where are we going to pull back to? So we're looking for fib levels off of the moves. Yeah, I'm just using Euro-Odin as an example at the moment. So we're using fib levels, shallow retracement, normal retracement, deep retracement. We're looking for gaps where price has pushed very, very hard. The gaps, you want to pay attention to the gaps after accumulations. Yeah, so the gaps that we see are accumulation buyings. So when the market accumulates, it then moves in one direction or the other. Those are the gaps we're interested in. If it's done that, as it has in this case, and it's gapped after gapped after gapped, they're not that important because they're not accumulations of the market moving. So these big gaps we've got, like that one there, yeah, not really interested. This one here, however, I am interested in because this is where we accumulated and started the move from. So this gap here is the most important out of all of these. So pullbacks on this one, for example, any of those levels there, really. Yeah. So just keep an eye. And if you're shorting these, obviously, look for where we're potentially going to go. Look for price action around those areas. Euro CAD, same thing. There's just nothing in the way. We've got little accumulations that we had on the way up. These can sometimes, if we're going to go into a really strong trend, these tiny little accumulations can support as well. So you've got to be a little bit careful. But as I said, fundamentally, there's nothing out there that says the euro should be powering up in any way, shape or form. So it's starting to roll over this morning across the board. We got some bullish price action coming in at the moment on a few of them. But as you can see, it is starting to move. So all kind of going in the right direction. We've got an accumulation going on with the US dollar at the moment. Again, obviously, we've got a weak US dollar at present. So we're looking for that to power up. But all of these, like, massively extended still. So so that's kind of what I was doing at the weekend. I spent a bit of time on Saturday looking through various websites, news websites, going through Bloomberg with a fine-tooth comb, all the Forex Factory news reports, everywhere basically. There's nothing really that is all the basically Lagarde has said is we're going to bring forward our rate increases to the end of 2022, but that still leaves us 9 months of exactly the same as we have had for the last X number of years with the euro. So the euro from the COP perspective, I mean it's not been happy for a long time, and even prior this. So I don't really see any reason for this move apart from just normal manipulation. It's just a big one. So it's a squeeze on the short sellers, basically. So, but yeah, all looking still bearish across the board on the euros. So, yeah, short them. That's what I'm doing. We've got some levels, obviously, higher up. If we are going to continue for any reason and get a squeeze on the euro, we'll be looking for levels higher up where we'll get reactions from. So this week's key for the euro, but fingers crossed Lagarde this afternoon, steps in and pops it back down again. So let's start off with ADRs. There's nothing on ADR. There's nothing on the weeklies. At the moment, obviously, it's early days. We haven't had a very big movement in the Asian session, so there's not a lot of price action at the moment so far. Euro Swiss has hit the monthly ranges already. We're on the 7th of the month. You can see Euro Swiss has hit the monthly ranges, so it's just gone obviously parabolic. After a parabolic move, we get usually a parabolic drop. So, I mean, it would be nice to see that happen today and give some confirmation of weakness on that one. So that's the only thing that's hit on the monthlies. 4 hourlies, we've got nothing extended at the minute, apart from obviously all the euros. So I've just kind of gone through these. You can see them all, obviously, euro extensions. Euro odds just coming out now. So these are all going to turn off. If we get continuation downside during London, these will pretty much all disappear. Euro CAD probably won't. Actually, no, Euro Swiss won't as well. So these ones which are really extended still at the 80s and 75s, they'll probably still be around on the dash. But that's the only extensions we've got at the moment. All the other extensions that we had from last week are kind of all playing out. US dollar yen didn't quite get there, did it? Lovely drop on that one. Is that yen strength coming through? Yeah, is yen strength coming through this morning? Yeah, all the yens coming down very nicely this morning. So if you've got any yen shorts on, doing well. Someone was in the euro yen last week. I think it was Andy. Not Andy. Adrian. He's probably not here because he's in Singapore. He'd be asleep. Just about to get a reverse alert on that one. So again, starting to come down. I mean, when you get these parabolic moves like this, there's nothing to stop it on the way down as well. Yeah. So what goes up must come down, and normally it comes down hard. So especially when you've got a yen strength at the moment and no movement in the euro, that's a lovely little opportunity for a short. Even if you took that on 4 hour now, you've got potentially 200 pips to the downside, a 3 ADR move, but it's not going to happen as quick as it went up. It's going to take a few days to come down. But that's all you've got on the 4 hours. So there's no other opportunities 4 hour. Hourly, flat. So, it's typical Monday morning. There's nothing much happening. All the moves played out last week. The EAs, Let's give you an update on what they're doing. This is H4M15 in line with COT. We banked 0.4%. There's a lot of stuff. Obviously, this is well overexposed on the euro because it's trading every pair. Obviously, so when the euro comes down, this lot will all just pop over into the bank. So that'd be nice when that happens. H4 M15 normal pairs that I run it on. We banked just over 1% on Friday. Aussie yen and CAD yen. We've got 2 yen pairs on at the moment. One long, one short, interestingly. So one of those will play out. The other one won't. I'm going to draw down. This is... Oh, sorry. This is trend pullback. This is H4 M15 trend pullback. So this is playing the trends. Yeah. That's why we've got 2, because they're opposite trends. H4 M15, nothing much banked. We only banked 2% last week. Well, yeah, basically. So it's 7 to 10% is normally what we return a month. So that's pretty much fine. Got a fair bit of profit in there at the moment. So as long as we get these continuation drops today, we'll probably put all that in the bank today. And just banked a Euro New Zealand this morning by the looks of things, or yesterday. That one. So we banked some on Friday. We just banked some today. Oh, we banked 2 today. So we banked Euro New Zealand. This is H1 M15. So this was an H1 extension. H1 M5, H1 extension, 5-minute entry. And we've banked £1 US dollar. That was on Friday. So that's it. So yeah. Got a little bit of drawdown on that one, mainly on Euro US dollar. Obviously, again, overexposed on the Euro. I've got quite a few Euro pairs. I might take one of those off when these play out because I'm a little bit overexposed on the Euro at the moment on that one. So, and for those that were interested in the strategy quant EAs, nearly got all that loss back on Friday. So this, this kind of ignore this. This will pump up as the month goes on. Little bit of profit on the other set as well, but didn't do an awful lot of trading last week. So they're still going. Still got another month of monitoring on those. So yeah, not too bad overall. But again, just sitting here waiting. Has anybody got any pairs they want to look at specifically? What I'll probably do this morning is just do a quick rundown of all pairs. Someone's asked me about scalping strategy. A couple of people asked me about scalping strategy because obviously I've been doing a bit of scalping in the live rooms. I'm going to do a video on what I'm looking for when I'm scalping. I've basically got an EA that I'm developing. I won't look at it now. I'll look at it. If you want to have a look at it, I'll have a look at it after I've done the overview. But I've got an EA that I'm developing, which I mentioned last week, but it's not finished yet. So I kind of want to do a little video on how I scalp when I've got that video, that EA working, because I want to show how I do it, and the EA is being built basically to do it, to help me do it. So I'll go through that a little bit when I've got that finished. So, but if anybody's got anything specific they want to ask or look at, obviously shout. But what I would do this morning is, have a look through all the pairs. So I'm going to have a quick look at Bitcoin, just see where that was going, because, yeah, so we're pulling up at the moment into support on Bitcoin. We'll have a look at the indices as well before we do the overview, and Ethereum as well, pulling back nicely. So all the indices last week, we started the pullbacks down, but we had a very bullish end on Friday, and we're dojing so far today, but we had a bullish end on Friday and a bullish end on Thursday. We did move down. They were bear candles, but there's a lot of wicks, so there's still a lot of bullish price action here, and obviously this area here was that whole week of accumulation, and look what happened. We burst out of that accumulation and we've got buyers stepping in here. So interesting. are the doomsayers wrong about the drop? Who knows? But all of these are kind of being a little bit supported at the moment, as you can see with Wix. But we have started to move off the 72, so off the 24 rather. So difficult to tell what's going on with these at the moment. The DAX is just stuck in a range at the minute, but all of the US indices are rolling over. But it's whether or not we're going to get that kind of movement, or whether we are doing the pullback drop. We're in a critical stage, so this week I think is going to be quite critical to tell what's going to happen with it. Can I check the Dixie and US dollar CAD and US dollar yen? Yeah. So Dixie, the range that we had here, that we were looking for that bounce and push, has happened. So we've made new highs, and now we are pulling back into the pullback basically. So what I'm expecting is a continuation upside from there. Nice 72 bounce basically we're doing at the minute. So yeah, looking for longs on US dollar still. We need to get back up here basically. We need to break this high and this low here. So we got this zone, if you like, which is kind of the next critical area for the US dollar. So assuming market structure is going to continue as we are, this is where we want to be buying the US dollar. So this area here needs to be broken at some point this week. As I said, news-wise, we haven't got any real catalysts. The only catalyst we've got is Thursday, which is CPI. So if we can pull back into this area and just sort of grind around up here by Thursday we've got an opportunity to push through. So yeah, so at the moment still looking for longs, although we have broken back down below the range support again. So, you know, at the moment it's a very weak uptrend, but we are still in an uptrend. So, yeah, we're looking for longs at the moment, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, we'll see. Right, so whizzing through everything. Look at the 4 hours. So Aussie dollar CAD, we're looking for shorts on the Aussie dollar CAD at the moment. Nice reversal alert on the 4 hour at the 24. Beautiful M pattern on that one. So looking good for short opportunities at the moment. Canadian dollar, we've got the crude figures this week. That's all on Wednesday. And obviously Macklem speaking on Wednesday as well. So again, maybe talking head may move the market, but there's no news forecast at all for the CAD. So just looking for short opportunities on that one. We've just made a nice new low on that down here. So market structure is still bearish at the moment. We haven't broken and held above the highs. We're just basically double topping at the minute. So a bit bullish this morning, but looking for market structure to continue to the downside. Again, there was a trade there on probably Wednesday, Tuesday last week, which would have played out already. But yeah, apart from that, not looking amazing at the minute. Aussie dollar Swiss shorts, looking for shorts on this one from a trend perspective. Again, waiting for Swiss franc to power up. This is very, very rangy, has been for the last 2 weeks. We're kind of sitting in a nice symmetrical triangle at the moment, accumulating. Yeah, in an accumulation phase, waiting for a breakout, potentially to the downside on that, but nothing particularly interesting there. Aussie dollar yen, all the yens, I'm still kind of looking for shorts with a view for the yen to be powering up. It is powering up this morning, but it's not powering up along with the US dollar as much as I would expect it to. So again, I've still got no bias on the yen. I'm just playing it by the COT report at the moment as being a short, but I'm expecting it to power up. So I'm kind of steering clear of the yen really until it gives any clear indication of which way it's going. It hasn't given us any real clear indication apart from powering up slightly. So the whole of January, basically, if we go back to there, we've literally accumulated for a couple of weeks. We got the power up along with the US dollar that we were expecting, and now we're just in another accumulation. So I'm expecting a leg down. The COT report, obviously, is bearish on the yen, and it has been for ages. So there's no real directional bias on it that's easy to determine. So I'm going to assume that, as we quite often see, it will power up with the US dollar. We are expecting the US dollar to power up. Therefore, I will be looking for shorts on everything against the yen at the moment. But again, I'm not going to get into anything until I get any decent movement and extension, which we're not getting at the minute. Aussie New Zealand is a grindy long at the minute. These guys are just choppy as you like. It's going up, but look at the wicks on this thing. It's just a horrible choppy mess. We had a bit of a push. We've had a lovely reversal alert there, but we've been, again, supported by the 24. So it's kind of a long at the minute, but at some point we are going to get a retest back down towards the 72. So unless it gives you any signals, we had a short signal there on that move. But as you can see, it's just kind of been grinding up, but it's starting to, we put in a high there, and we've put in a kind of lower high than the high. So we got divergence, basically. If you look at this from here, yeah, we've got lovely divergence, lovely bearish divergence forming on the Aussie New Zealand. So it looks like it wants to come down. The New Zealand dollar has flipped long on the COT report, and it has been for the last 3 weeks. So we should expect some New Zealand dollar strength to start coming through. But again, there's no news catalysts to drive anything this week. So, but divergence is lovely on it, on the 4 hour. So selling pressure. But was that the selling pressure out of the divergence? Don't know. It could just push up now and disappear. So we'll see on that one. But nothing, again, particularly interesting on that. Aussie dollar, US dollar. US dollar expecting to power up. Obviously, this has had a little bit of a push. We had the big drop from the 24. So market structure potentially starting to shift on this, but I would expect more likely what we're going to see is after this just a pullback up into this area here and then a drop. So I'll be looking for shorts. Aussie US, again, we haven't had any signals on this really since back here. So yeah, I think great. CAD Swiss, sideways mess. Yeah, sideways mess. Your guess is as good as mine on that. It's the Swiss franc. Basically, wait for the Swiss franc to power up or to devalue, and that will go either way according to what the Swiss franc does at the moment. CAD yen, looking for shorts. Again, there's a lot of accumulation going on at the minute. Yeah, lots and lots of contraction and ranging on a lot of pairs. So we've got a very, very light news week this week. So there's nothing to pump any of these. On Friday, we have got a bank holiday in Japan. And quite often on bank holidays, what you see is that currency getting manipulated hard because there's no one to fight back on the other side, if you like. So we might see some decent slippage on the yen on Friday. But yeah, accumulating, when you get an accumulation, yeah, if you've watched my videos on symmetrical triangle breaks, typically a symmetrical triangle will break in the line of trend, but it is really a 50-50. So, pending orders above highs and lows, when you get that break, it's going to go like that. So at the moment, I don't know. It's going to go one way or the other, but flatlined in there. I had a nice buy opportunity on the CAD yen a couple of weeks ago, but nothing since. Sideways. Swiss yen, sideways-ish as well, but again, I would be more inclined. I know the trend at the moment on this is long, but we not really going anywhere. We get the big pushes based on either Swissy or yen weakness or strength, and then we just get these accumulations again. So we're waiting for something to power up or devalue again, the same as everything. But I'd be more inclined for shorts on this one, with some yen strength. Market structure at the moment is shifting to the downside. Yeah, so we have got negative market structure being put in at the moment, but this could well be a just convoluted long pullback. But at the moment, the market structure is much more bearish than it is bullish. But we have supported the 24 nicely as well. So, again, I've not really got any directional bias on this one. So had a nice opportunity for shorts up there on Thursday last week. But apart from that, nothing exciting. Euros, we know what we're doing with the euros, all of them. So just keep an eye on all of these for short opportunities. They're just starting to think about coming down now. But again, like I said, if any of these continue to squeeze and continue to push, you just have to look for where they're going. So when you're trading in a position, trading sort of strategy, your thoughts should always be with, I'm going to get into this trade. What if I'm wrong? You should be planning your next move all the time. So if for some reason we are powering up, where are we going? Plan your entries accordingly. We've just come out of this support resistance area almost to the pip perfectly. So is this going to be it? Yes, hopefully. Brilliant. Job done. We're all out. If not, where are we going? Up to here. So plan your entries for the next pullback. If we do get all the way up to there, we are just putting in the same thing as we do all the time. We're squeezing, collapsing. That's what it does. That's what the market does. Squeezes, collapses. Especially with the euro. Euro more than any other pair at the moment because it just has got no legs. So, but at the moment it's coming down. So these are all looking good. Euro CAD just got a double top. Not quite actually. Not quite. Missed it. But again, that area, look for where we're going. Market has a memory. Accumulation there, wasn't sure. Then we said, we're going to carry on to the downside. If we're not, there's a level there, there's a level there, there's a level there. Potentially any of these could be bounce points on the way up. Big selling pressure in there. So again, plan accordingly. Euro Swiss, done that one. Euro pound. So pound's obviously along at the moment. We are having a bit of weakness on the pound at the minute. Just get my other monitor up. I've got my Surface next to me now, which is doing an overview for me of all the other all the majors basically. So it's not a lot of movement really at the moment. US dollar yen is pushing up a little bit. Everything else is kind of accumulating at the moment. Euro pound. So looking for short opportunities on this. Long pound. So we've got this lovely support resistance area here, which we've chopped around loads and loads and loads, and we are chopping around it again now. So this is where this initial propulsion move came out of that accumulation, and then we collapsed from there. This is where all the sellers are sitting, and this is where we have entered into and been rejected. So looking good again from euro pound. All the euros have kind of got to a point where you're thinking they've had enough. Massive multi-week accumulation, explosive move to the downside. Any sellers long term will be protecting their positions after this accumulation. So again, looking like a nice area. Euro New Zealand is off the charts. So this one's a little bit different with the Euro New Zealand. New Zealand dollar has just powered up as well on the COT. And we're just tapping into this area of support resistance here. So again, it's still a good area. for a drop. If not, we're looking probably coming up to here. That's the next level. So again, 100 and 200 ADR move to the upside. If it does a 200% ADR move to the upside, when it's starting at 80 on the daily chart, you're going to get this. Yeah, it's just the daily is just like if you get extended on the daily, one or two things happens. You either get the move exhaust and collapse, or you get to a point where there's been so much movement in one direction, you at least get a really decent pullback to the moving average. Yeah. So if it's going to be a daily trend continuation, you get a pullback after being this extended to be able to get out of any positions. So at the moment we are, above the 80. Worst case scenario on this, at some point we're going to come down to get to the 24. Yeah, so you're always going to get an exit when you're extended on the dailies, but I don't monitor the dailies because you get like maybe an opportunity every 3 to 6 months. It's too long a time frame. It's great for swing and for investment, but it's just too long to monitor really. And Euro US dollar is obvious, double top. So tapped outside the 72, looking for US dollar strength to pump that one back down again. So yeah, looking good. All the euros. Pounds. So we got strength on the pound. Expected. We got some nice movement, obviously. Trend basis on the pound at the minute. We had a lovely 24 bounce. Broke up, made new highs, pulled down, made a higher low. We're in the process potentially of pushing up at the moment to make a new higher high. So market structure is long, moving averages are long, cot bias is long, it's all long. Just waiting for some opportunities really to get in long at some point. Pound CAD is a bit of a mess at the minute, bit rangy, has been for a good few months now, but we're up at range highs. So obviously you've got nice 4-hour extensions which is starting to play out now. And we've double topped. So Canadian dollar, we have got obviously oil and macklem this week. Could push that one down. Difficult to tell though. So I've been shorting this. No, I haven't actually from the COT report. No, I haven't actually because the COT bias is different on it. You had shorting opportunities on it if you wanted them, but long in the pound. So no opportunities to the downside on this. When we were down here, there was no COT bias because they were both short bias. So you would have been able to take that long out of there. But nothing exciting really on the pound CAD at the minute. It's a nice double top, but you've missed that. That was that's gone. Pound Swiss. Again, pound Swiss kind of ruled at the moment by the Swiss franc. You can really trade this one in any direction at the moment. We are, again, with this one, looking potentially for bullish market structure. So I'll be more inclined to long it than short it. But, it doesn't really matter with this one which side you get in. If you get stuck in it for a week or so, you'll get out because it moves all the time based on the Swiss franc movement. When the Swiss franc is a lovely pair to trade against because it gets manipulated so much with money moving in and out of the Swiss banks. You get a lot of movement basically on it. So yeah, you can kind of trade that one anyway you like really, but no real directional bias on it as such at the moment. Where it's kind of floundering around at the highs. So I'd like to see a pullback. Decent pullback on it and then look for long opportunities. And pound yen, difficult. Again, I'm kind of steering clear a little bit of the yen. It's, as you can see, massive kind of rangy beast. Goes into big flurries at the minute. So this is mainly off the back of the yen. So I'm not really interested in trading pound yen. it can quite easily get you into a squeeze. From a directional bias short term, I'd be looking really for long opportunities, but I'm really biased long on the yen. So again, I've got conflicting views on this one at the minute, so I'm not going to really get involved with it. I kind of want to long the pound, but I want to long the yen as well, and I can't do both. So for me, this is, if you get extended on it, that's probably the best thing to do. Wait for an extension. We had an extension on Thursday last week, I think it was. I think we got, was it Thursday last week we got extended? Yeah, it's Thursday, which is just starting to play out now. So you had the opportunity on the reverse alert there on M15. You would have got it, I think, on Thursday. I think we looked at this one, didn't we? Can't remember. Long week. Oh no, we didn't actually. No, so this was the first reverse alert on the Friday, which we got the retest. M pattern put in and dropped. You probably would have been out on that though. So yeah, so that's that one. Pound New Zealand, grindy long. We've now got a long bias against a long bias with the Pound New Zealand. So this one is kind of could go either way depending on which of the currencies decides to power up the strongest. But at the moment, obviously the pound is in control, but that's because we've had a fairly weak New Zealand dollar. So that may well change. We've just had a reversal alert on the 4 hour. We've put in a nice double top, and we've tried again on Friday to make new highs and failed. So we got big wicks to the upside at the moment, which is kind of indicative of we are going to get some kind of drop. We haven't returned to the 24 or the 72 for an absolute age. So it is still just grinding very, very nicely higher. So with something like this where you're kind of chopping and it's a very grindy sort of trend, you're much better off playing them on lower time frames. So looking on the hourly on this one for extensions, and you can probably take any type of extension that you get and obviously just take quick shorts. So any ADR hits to the upside, quick scalps basically. But ideally you want to be playing longs, but obviously you're not going to get many long opportunities when something is grinding so hard like it is at the moment. But look at the trend on this. Yeah, we've been trending higher. What have we just done? Yeah, we're going into an accumulation at the moment. We haven't been in accumulation for a while, and we are rejecting these highs. So potentially we could be starting a pullback, and pullback will probably be somewhere down towards the 24 or the 72. So reversal alert just gone in there. Hourly, you've just had a reversal alert short as well. So it's probably a short-term short, I would say. But again, nothing really convincing on that one. And short on this at the moment, based on US dollar. The trade was last week, which has already played out already. If you got in. Oh, no, you probably haven't. Well, you might have done. 100 odd pips. You've had an ADR move to the downside. So, but yeah, looking for pounds, US dollar to strengthen. So, market structure. It's a really, really nice bounce off the, I think there's a 50 bounce, wasn't it? Yeah, a 61.8 bounce. So, I'll be looking basically for pullback, potentially long, but it's all going to be based on the US dollar. And if the US dollar doesn't decide to power up, it's not really going to go anywhere. So pound being long, US dollar long, there's no real bias on it. But at the moment, I mean, to me, actually, it's difficult, isn't it? Pound US dollar at the minute. If you stick a fib on it the other way, 61.8 retracement up there as well. So I don't know. I would be inclined to say the US dollar is probably going to power up, which means this one's coming down. But obviously, we're expecting the pound to power up as well. So you'll probably find you can get in any way you like on this one, either side. But again, pound US dollar's just not really got any bias. So all the New Zealand's are shorts, have been shorts for a while. We've just got a change of COT bias on it. And we've seen some strength coming through on all of these, even against the US dollar. So looking at all of these, they've been massive shorts, but the market structure has shifted. We've had a 4-hour reverse alert, which is retested, and we're putting in a new market structure high there. So all of these are potentially longs, apart from the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. But there's a lovely base and accumulation there. So, but they're all going to be very grindy. There's not a lot of power in the New Zealand dollar at the moment. So they're all really, really short bias, but the COT report is flipped long. So again, with these, I flipped the EA to just take long opportunities on New Zealand dollar pairs at the moment. So I'm just going to be looking for longs across the board, apart from New Zealand dollar, US dollar, which I'll trade both directions. But yeah, all looking bullish. Lovely support bounce there, but it's really, really slow. All these New Zealand dollars are kind of, most of the time, they're very, very grindy, apart from you get the odd day, and then it's just kind of grind, the odd day, and grind. So they're really difficult pairs to trade at the moment. But for me, I'm kind of biased long on them now. So, but again, nothing set up on any of these. There's nothing set up on anything apart from the euros at the minute. It's just at the moment we're just flat. So we were like this last Monday, though, so you just have to be patient. And all the US dollars, right? So the US dollars, obviously, based on the pullback, I'm expecting movement to the upside. So we've got this candle here on the Dixie. So this accumulation here, we broke out. So that candle there is potentially where we could retest and find some resistance. So somewhere in here, there's been a big down move. But the big down move to me is a pullback rather than short sellers entering the market wanting to exit their positions. So I'm looking for moves to the upside on this. Obviously, that means that all US dollar pairs would be looking for upside movement as well. So we got a very, very nice rejection last week down at these lows and a push up, which we're just pulling back on, and bearish price action coming out of here. So this little accumulation on the US dollar CAD here, where we started this move higher, buyers are stepping back in there. So that one's looking pretty good for longs. US dollar Swiss, big pullback. Back down to the moving averages, and we've bounced back up again. So again, that one's looking pretty good. Low, high, higher low, looking for a higher high up to these highs there at some point. So looking for long opportunities, US dollar Swiss. And US dollar yen. Again, this one is the one that I'm unsure of. I always am with the US dollar yen. It's a horrible, horrible thing to trade. Because it just goes really wildly. So you have to sit in it for a bit. That's why I don't like trading it, I think, because when you get into it, you quite often will be in it for many days, if not a week or so. So it's just not a very nice thing to trade, because they tend to move together and you don't get a lot of movement. Whichever one is stronger just pushes and pushes and pushes until it decides to have a little rest. And if the other one doesn't take over with strength, you just go into these grindy moves where you just don't get any exits. At the moment, it's acting pretty nicely. Market structure is really solid on it. But it's coming down at the moment, obviously, against with the yen. So US dollar is pushing. US dollar yen is coming down. So that shows you how strong that yen move is that we've got coming in at the moment. The yen is kicking the US dollar into touch. So from a directional bias perspective, it's a very difficult one to call. Again, it's one of those pairs you can probably just take any extension when you get extended, if you get extended. But I'd be looking more for longs. So 24 bounces out of that area down there. So if we've got a 100 ADR move on it, potentially a nice little push from there. But market structure is long. Double bottom bounce, new high. Ultimately, obviously, up to 116,340 level is where we'll be headed. So that's it. That's everything. Anybody trading gold? Gold is obviously having a little bit of a rally at the moment. It's been pretty independent, gold. Obviously, with gold, what we tend to see a lot of the time is the inverse of what the US dollar does. But as you can see, gold and the US dollar have been doing a very similar thing of late. So the gold's gone very independent. But it's I don't trade it because of the massive, ridiculous sell-offs and spikes that you get, which go on for a week. As a position trader, you just don't want to be in something that's got a big ADR and just squeezes for no reason. We know why it squeezes, but it just squeezes for a long time on the trot. So, but for me, it looks more long than short. And a lovely double bottom bounce. Market structure is very, very clear at the moment. We've double bottomed. So we are more bullish than bearish at present based on this recent move we've had since the beginning of December. And yeah, we're coming out from the lows now. So be looking for pull up into sort of 1836 levels, somewhere up here. That is your next resistance there. So yeah, that's where I'd be going for 1828 this week. Could even be today, you never know. But yeah, I mean, just grindy longs on gold. So that's it. All I've got. There's nothing else. We're a bit flat on everything else. So that's kind of the week overview. Just basically waiting for opportunities and waiting for the trades we've got at the moment to play out. Euro's coming down very nicely. Nice rejection wicks to the upside. They're all looking like they're coming down pretty well, especially Euro Yen. Shame I got out of that last week. I got stopped out on that Euro Yen last week. I got in on Thursday after the push here. And I got taken out basically. And I know a lot of people scaled in again on Friday. So if you got in on Friday, your quid's in. All the way down, all the way back. Or just hold it forever if you want. As far as I'm concerned. Unless the guard comes out this afternoon and says, we are suddenly economically booming and we're going to give everybody loads of money and the economy is amazing and blah, 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 blah. Unless he comes out and says something massively positive, the euro's coming down as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, we'll see over the next week. But this week, look for ADR hits and bounces off of ADR, pullbacks basically. So any downward movement you get, whenever it stops, if you want to get in short, look for pullbacks and reversal alerts on lower time frames, short, M5, M15. But obviously wait for it to stop. Okay. Anybody got anything else I want to look at? I'll quickly cover the EA that I'm building, just for those that asked. Not had a good morning this morning, scalping. Tried to scalp the DAX on the open, didn't work. So I'm building this EA. It's literally for scalping. It will trade automated as well. Based on candlestick patterns. So it's basically got loads of buttons. And it's also being built as a scalping simulator as well. So there is a mode in it called Active Buttons in Tester. I might rename that to something more interesting. But what it does is it allows you to also use it in the strategy tester. Just find an indice to show you what it does. Visual mode, that'll do. M5, that'll do. Don't want an RSI. So it identifies candlestick patterns There's loads of settings in it which allow you to identify different candlestick patterns and basically take trades quickly with different stop loss, TPs, percentage targets. You've also got stop loss modes here, so you can enter into trade. So let's say, for example, I want to go long here. I can buy at market and I can have my stop put underneath the candle. If I put it into tester mode, oh God, get rid of that. So yeah, so basically I can say I want to go long at market. I'll wait for that to move up a little bit. There you go. And it'll put the stop directly underneath that candle. I can also say get me in and use a stop loss amount. Yeah, so that uses a 200 pip stop. Or I can say get me in and put the stop under the last candle. So go long now and put my stop under this candle, because this candle is a long wick. So this here is identifying a candlestick pattern which is a 50% wick to the downside, and it also is making a 5 candle low. So basically we've had a push down and we've put in some kind of bullish reversal. Yeah, so it gives you a candlestick pattern. And obviously you can do the usual stuff like modifying stop losses, modifying TPs. You can close the most profitable trades. You can move everything to break even. And obviously just close all trades very, very quickly. So it's designed for scalping. Obviously you want to be fast depending on what time frame you're in. So you want to go, right, I want to buy at market and I want my stop under the last candle. This one here. Yeah. And it's also got automated scale-ins, all sorts of stuff. You can buy stop. So I can just buy there, stop under the last candle, and it will automatically adjust my lot size depending on my risk. So you don't have to worry about risk. You literally say, I just want to risk 0.75 every time I hit a button. And depending on where you're putting your stop, it does all the automatic adjustments for everything for you. So yeah, really, really good. But it's for scalping. So it identifies multiple candlestick patterns. So we've got strong close candles. So basically a strong close candle is a candle that obviously closes strong, and by that what I mean is it pushes up hard and the close of the candle is somewhere near the end of the candle. So you can adjust this. I think I've got this set to 30% at the moment. So when the candle closes, it needs to close within 30% of the end. You could set it to 20%. So depending on the strength of the candle, the strength of the move, it shows you basically when you get those. Obviously long wicks, it identifies long wick candles. It also identifies double tops and double bottoms, or equal highs and equal lows. Let me see if we can find some. There we go. Well, stop. So that one there is EQH. So equal highs, it identifies equal highs within the last 5 candles, within the last 10 candles, and within the last 15 candles. So that is an equal high. And it's also a long wick candle as well. And it also identifies a candlestick pattern called the 2 inside bar setup, which if you're familiar with somebody that invented it, I can't remember his name, it's gone out of my head. Someone will tell me in a minute. Who invented the 2 inside bar setup? Oh my God. My brain is it's Monday morning brain. I'm just trying to find a 2. It's not going to find a 2 inside bar now, is it? There's an equal low. 2 inside bar is a really good setup, but they're rarer, a lot rarer, but they're kind of good. I'm not going to find it. No. Anyway, it identifies those as well. But you've also got in here, you can auto trade opening ranges, opening range breaks. It will also draw in opening ranges for you. It will do trailing stops if you want to as well. So it will automatically trail your positions when you're scaling in. It will also do what's called add to winners. So it will scale you into your positions automatically, either on candle close or on a tick by tick basis. You can use moving averages as well. So it will only alert you on moving averages. So if we use the EMA 20, for example, it will only draw candlestick patterns based on what the moving average is doing. And it will auto trade these candlestick patterns for you as well if you wanted it to. And the scale in thing is really cool. So if I go long, there, for example, let's get along. Let's do it by pip. So there you see it's taken another position there. Yeah. So it will, as price moves in your direction, it will scale into your positions for you, obviously increasing your profit. So as price moves in our direction, if it does in this case, didn't in that case, got too tight a stop on it basically. There we go. So you can see it's scaling in. Yeah, which obviously increases the profit as you scale into the position. So when you hit a scalp, it will automatically just keep as price pushes. So it's basically taking advantage of these. So if you'd taken this candle here, taken along there, as it pushes, it would take another position, pushes up, takes another position, pushes up, takes another position, pushes up, takes another position, until you get to a point where you go, yeah, happy with that, and get out. So it's basically just to speed up and automate the way that I trade, basically. And obviously you can adjust everything. And it can also auto trade for you. So if you wanted it to just auto trade, you can do that as well. And you can use trailing stop. So you can say I want to auto trade long wicks, for example, and equal patterns. Whenever it sees them. There we go. So it took that long wick short. Oops. So it got in automatically on that long wick short with the 200, 400. But I can also now manually adjust it. So it's not an EA for, again, like all my EAs, they're not to sit on a beach, make £1 million, and let this thing do it all for you. They're literally, I'm not watching what's going on. I know I just want to take all long wicks. Yeah. So just get me in when you see a long wick, and then I will take over. Thank you very much. Yeah. So then I'll go, right, do I like that long wick? No, I don't. Getting out based on price action. So I'm not going to let it hit my stop because I don't like what the price action's doing at the minute. I can adjust my TPs. I'm going to adjust my stops. There you go. So there's a long wick. It took long. And it's also scaled in to a second position as we pushed up. These are a bit too close together, actually. Shouldn't really be scaling 5 pips apart. That's a bit too close. And yeah, so it does all of that. Yeah, so it made a nice one there. So there's a good example of how the scaling in helps. So it's scaled into all of those positions. Yeah, and then it automatically trailed because I've got trailing stop set. Yeah, so it made a nice profit. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on anyway. It's not ready yet. There's a load of extra functionality that I want to add to it yet. But someone was asking, because I showed the results of an EA that was trading opening range breaks and scalping. and someone was asking about it, and it's kind of developed into this. So nice 3-bar reversal there. So let's go last candle. We'll just buy at market, stop below the last candle, TP up there. Obviously you can manually adjust anything you like. Scaled in. Stopped out. That's because I've got trailing stop on. Obviously I don't use trailing stops really myself, but obviously stop would be below there, low there, which is a nice little profit. Will it be available publicly? Yeah, maybe. Probably. I don't know. I'm building this for myself because, as you know, I'm doing a lot more scalping now just because I got back into it. But I want to... the trouble with making things public is I have to really polish them. And this isn't very polished. So, yeah, it might be is the answer. Probably. Put it that way. But it's a, like you say, it's a toolbox really. But there's other things I want to add to it, and there's other things it does as well, like drawing in ranges and things. So you can see here, if I scale out, it draws in automatically for you. This is the Frankfurt Open. It draws in the Frankfurt Open, and then it also draws in the New York Open at 2:30, and it gives you the opening ranges, and you can set these opening ranges to be whatever you want. So you could set it to be the 15-minute opening range, however many opening ranges basically you want it to be. There's another statistic which is used in indices trading, which is to do with how many candles. I'm trying to remember the guy's name who came up with all these theories on scalping. Al Brooks. God. How can I forget Al Brooks? So Al Brooks came up with the opening range confidence system in indice movement. So after, I think it's after 8 or 10 candles, I'll have to look it up. But again, this is all in development, so ignore it. There's a 50% chance that the high or the low of the day will have been put in. When you get to candle 12, that goes up to 70%. So when you get to candle 12, you can have this change to say 70% confidence that this is the high and the low of the day. When you get to candle 18, that goes up to 90%. So after 18 candles, which is 1.5 hours, 90% of the time, this high or low is going to be in. So what it means is if you get a break below there, and we're more than 18 candles in, highly likely what we're going to do is go into a trend day. So this is a massive opening range today. This is bigger than normal opening range for the DAX, which I scalped this morning, as you can see. But I lost a load up here. I got whipsawed out this morning like crazy at the open. So it's going to draw all this in automatically for you, and you can change all of this. So you can trade the Frankfurt Open automatically. It will take automatic opening range breakout trades for you. You can decide what you want your opening range to be for New York as well. Obviously, you can draw those in. You can also use fixed lot sizing instead of percentage risk if you want to. It will automatically take scalps. It will automatically take runners, what I call runners. So at the open, if you want to take an opening range breakout of the first 5 minutes, for example, it will take 2 trades on the break. One of them will be a scalp, then it will move to break even, and then you'll have a runner. And that's what I did this morning here. Look, I had multiple trades on. I had a scalp which got taken off down here, and then I had a runner which got taken off down there, and there's 4 positions on there because it was adding for me automatically as the move started. Yeah, so it'll do all of this automated for you as well. But what I was saying last week was to the person that was asking about it, and I think I said it in live room as well, I'm having a massive problem with slippage. So when you're scalping any kind of opening range, basically, slippage is a massive problem. You don't get filled where you want to get filled very easily. So I'm talking about the first sort of 5 minutes, really. After the first 5 minutes, you'll be fine. You'll be able to get exactly where you want. So I'm finding that it needs to be a kind of rangy open, if you like. So I'm looking at an algorithm to detect a rangy open, and I'm probably going to use distance of the first 5 minute move. If the first 5 minute move is above an ATR level or an ADR, probably an ADR. Actually, no, we want to be ATR because I want to measure this range here. Then don't take the trades. So it needs some filtering. Or, if you're up, you can manually do it yourself. Yeah, so it's very easy to do. So if I say now I want to go sell stop, bang. So at the opening range, once that opening range is put in, I can just literally hit sell stop, buy stop, and it will automatically do that. And then whichever way this goes from the open, I'm in. So, but that's why I haven't released, because people have been seeing me scalping on the futures and seeing me scalping in here. And saying like when are you going to do a video on it, and I kind of want to have something like this so I can explain what I do and why I do it, and I really want to just record a whole live scalping session and say, right, I took a trade long because there was this, we had a strong close to the upside, but I didn't take that one because we're short at the moment. So I'm looking for short opportunities like that one, which I've just got into. And obviously, levels wise, I'm going to build in support resistance as well. So we'll have things like yesterday's low, 4 hour lows, hourly lows. So it's all going to need to auto draw support resistance levels in, so that we can see those, because obviously they're very important when you're scalping. And obviously it just keeps an eye on profit. So using that to close the positions out, not concentrating on money at all. I need to make percentage gains. So that's what I'm working on. Anybody got any questions on that? It's not finished, so I've got a lot of tidying up to do on it, and a lot of features and functionality I want to put in yet. I also want these buttons to be fully configurable, so you can choose where they appear. So I'm going to need a load of input, so you can say, I don't want to see a close most profitable button or a break even button. So you have the ability to turn them on and off, and then you can move all of these around, change the X, Y axis, change the font sizing, all that sort of stuff has all got to be done. So you can't release it like this. Like this doesn't work on my new Surface. I put this on my Surface this morning, and I didn't realize the Surface runs in 2000 and something resolution. So it's 4K. So what it's actually doing is it's increasing the size of windows by 200%. And unfortunately, what it does with MT4 is it increases the size of the font by 200%. So the buttons stay the same, but the font goes twice as big. So you need font control on this for anybody that's using a 4K monitor. There's all sorts of little tweaks like that which have got to be done, which take ages. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I've been working on. Have I got trailing stops turned on? No. So that's all I've got really for you today. Anyway, so if you've got anything else you want to discuss, come into the Telegram group. I will be in there all day. I'm always in there. And I will be back at 2:00, and we'll see what's happened with the market this morning. I'm going to do a bit of scalping because I've just taken a scalp trade. I'll just play this trade out basically and just see where it goes. But yeah, then I'll be back at 2:00 this afternoon. As I say, it's all just going to be 2:00 for 3:30 sessions this afternoon. What do I think about EJ on the 15-minute? Yeah, it's coming down. Just hit ADR. Down to here, 129,700. So wait for a pullback. Short. When you've got moves like what we're expecting here, moving averages are great for trends, especially the 20. The 20 and the 50 is what I use on when I'm scalping as well. So look at use a 20 as well for pullbacks. Obviously, you've got the support rectangle, which kind of will invalidate the current move if it breaks. But the 20, look for the 20 for bounces, assuming we are going to get a trend today. And also the 50 is also a good one to use. So those are the ones I use for pullbacks. I should have scaled into this. See, this is where scaling in would be good. I haven't got it turned on at the moment, but it would have automatically got me into another position there. Stop loss to break even. So this is what I mean. This is why it's such. I love this tool. Just literally hit that, break even, done. Close the most profitable trade out, put it in the bank. Why that's all the way over there. Move that one to break even. There you go. Just one trade in the bank, one running free. But EJ, from a higher time frame perspective, obviously, I mean, we're starting the move, aren't we now? So just got the ADR hit. So just got to be a bit careful of this. You know, as I said, there's nothing fundamental that says the euro should be strong. So, you know, wait for the market structure. Just think ahead. Think whenever you're looking at any trade, assume you're right. Market structure has shifted to the downside. Where are we coming back up to? Don't know. Somewhere up there, somewhere in that accumulation. Maybe that support, maybe the 20. Don't know. Somewhere up there, we're going to get some bearish price action. So the first shooting star, bearish engulfing, or whatever you see up around here is a short opportunity. Need to tidy up these inputs as well because it's a bit of a mess at the moment. So I just basically turned on the moving average filter. So it will only give me strong close candles, long wicks, equal highs, and 2 inside bars that are bearish now. So I'm just going to literally get bearish signals because I think we're going down today. We're on candle 21. So from that theory of the 18 candle theory, yeah. So this is 21, 20, 19, 18. That was candle 18. So we are assuming that that is the high of the day. Today, we are now 90% confident that today will be a down day. Obviously, it's 10% chance it won't be, but that's the theory. So we should be looking for one of two things. Either today is going to be a rotation, yeah, which will be a down rotation, some kind of bearish day, or we're going to be a trend day, in which case we are literally just going to be looking for short opportunities every time we pull back. So strong close candles to the downside, long wick candles to the downside. The 2 inside bar, just find a 2 inside bar for you, just to explain it. I'm not going to be able to find one. That is kind of a 2 inside bar there. That's bullish though. I want a bearish one really. There you go. That's not an inside bar. That's not an inside bar. That's not an inside bar. They're quite tricky. Basically, a 2 inside bar is basically where you get a strong close candle, yeah, with a tiny wick. So it's a big bearish candle. Then you get a move up inside that bar, yeah, which does not break the low. Yeah, so this is the bar. This is closing inside that bar. The next candle down is bearish, but it is also an inside bar. Yeah, so that is your move down. Buyers have tried to reverse that move. Sellers have stepped in and said, no, we're going down. So the play is to put your pending sell order underneath either of those candles, but I would use that one really. And then what tends to happen after a 2 inside bar is the move continues. So you then get another strong close candle to the downside. So a little bit like this. I saw one here this is close. This is about as close as you're going to get here. Yeah, strong move down, push up, rejection. Yeah, so that is that is it. But this is not a 2 inside bar because this broke that bar. Yeah, the low. This put in a new low. Yeah, so there's another one here as an example. Big move down. Why is that suddenly gone light? Oh, I'm using highlighter. Big move down. Yeah, this was a perfect inside bar candle because it didn't close below there. This one, however, did close below. Yeah, so if this had been a bearish candle but didn't close below that initial one, that would be a 2 inside bar setup and then movement back down to the downside. Again, there's a really close one there. Strong close candle followed by bullish. Sellers step back in and say no. This one just closed by about a pip below there, which is why that is not actually a 2 inside bar, but it is. I might tweak that actually. Technically, it's got to be unbroken lows, but they work a lot of the time. Yeah, there's one there. There's one there. That one didn't work because that one had a doji at the bottom or a spinning top. There's one there. Close, isn't it? But move down. So yeah, they're everywhere. You see them all over the place. But to actually get a perfect one, it can't break this low. But now I'm looking at it. I think if the candle close is above there rather than the low. I think that's kind of... I could tweak the signal, couldn't I, to do that? Might do that. So stopped out on that one, break even. 3-bar reversal gone in at support. So that's counter trend long. So if we're going to go into a rotation day, we may well get that sort of movement happening. So that would be a good long, but it's gone now. It's already gone. Still got my NASDAQ shorts on at the moment. Still playing the doom and gloom collapse trades. Might actually get rid of my dashboard on here so I don't see it, because I don't want that to influence me at all. I'm just getting ready to sell this if we start to look bearish. So we're potentially double bottoming here. So it could be a really nice long, but I'm playing the trend at the minute. I need a candle timer as well. I can't see it because it's behind the buttons at the moment. Can't see it at all. Kind of need to... no, it's not going to work, is it? I need candle timer over here. Okay, so the hourly close basically is at support. So see if we get a pullback and some bearish price action coming in. Okay, so I'm putting a sell stop underneath that candle. Stop at the high. I didn't get a long wick signal there because the candle closed above the 50 and I've got the 50 set as my filter. And obviously now I've switched down to the 1 minute chart. We're above the 50. But obviously there I would. Still going up. So we've got really decent seller rejection coming in at the minute. Fairly decent wicks to the upside. I might go with a sell stop here. Going to be a really tight, high risk entry. Stop. Actually, I might put stop above the next candle, the previous candle. Okay, let's gather me into that one. Let's see what sort of close we get here. It's got little glitchy things like the percentage for some reason glitches out when you hit certain percentage levels, which I need to look at, but pound US dollar is down at the lows at the minute. Just kind of rejecting the Asian lows. Want to see some good headway below at the moment. We're just putting in equal lows at the minute. Seller's not able to get back through. I'll give it another minute on this candle and see if we can break those lows. Well, we broke the lows, but we haven't held. We haven't closed below, so not looking particularly convincing. Closing it. Don't like the look of that. Still bullish. So buyers have stepped in out there. Didn't like the double bottom. So maybe we're going to push higher from here. I won't bore you with this all afternoon, all morning though. I'll let you get on, do other things. So I'll be back 2 o'clock. Might do a little bit of scalping this morning. I'll see if I get time. I've got a bit more coding I want to do on the EA to get some bits and pieces ready for this afternoon. So this afternoon, 2 o'clock beyond, we'll do a little analysis of where we've gone so far this morning. I might do some futures this afternoon. I'll see how I feel, see what happens this morning. But I might do some futures. I might just do some scalping on the S&P or the Nasdaq this afternoon on here. So we'll see, either CFDs or futures, one or the other. So ADR wise, we've just had Euro Yen. That's the only thing we've got here at the moment. We just had the ADR bounce off of that one. You're not going to get a reversal on that on M5. It's just been too strong a push with the yen. Nice 3-bar reversal pattern. Could have taken down there. But yeah, look for potential pullback and drops on that one. But apart from that, nothing else really. See if we've got any more H4s. So the H4s, the Euros are all starting to trickle out. So Euro odd is not extended anymore. Euro CAD started to pull back. Euro Swiss is still the most extended out of the lot, but 3-4 hour candles, 12 hours solid down so far. Euro pound and or Euro yen we just looked at, and Euro US dollar it's kind of stalling out as well. Probably a nice looking M pattern on the hourly. Apart from that, nothing else lit up there. Nothing on the hourlies. So again, nothing happened while we've been looking at other bits and pieces. So okay, I'll leave it there this morning, guys. So yeah, just playing out everything that we're playing out at the minute. If you're in positions already, just obviously let those play out. Shouldn't need to add to anything today unless we get any crazy movement. But hopefully we'll get a load playing out this afternoon. As I say, 3:45 Lagarde speaking. Which if we haven't had the euro drop before then, she may say something that's going to kick the euro down this afternoon. But just keep an eye on obviously what everything else is doing, and see if we've got any other movement happening. But so far today, it all looks pretty slow. There's nothing getting out of the gates really apart from the yen. So if you're in any yen shorts, they should all be playing out very nicely. But other than that, if you like the stream, give us a thumbs up. Join the Telegram group. I'm always in there. If you want any information on anything, I'm always around. But other than that, I will see you guys all this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Have a good, profitable morning, hopefully. And I will see you then.